video 50 of the Psyche Nomad, Eunice Veloso. I said Eunice because it's how you say it in English, but in Portuguese it's Eunice Veloso. I'm very pleased to be here. I hope I can bring you something that can help you. I always try to, bring a perspective, not a perception, but a perspective that might help you with your everyday things. And today I'm bringing you gratitude. Gratitude. Happy and worry. Okay, let's start with I'll get to gratitude. I'm going to start with the worry. We all have worries. Just because we have worries, it doesn't mean we can't smile along the day. Okay, doesn't mean you can feel happiness along the day. It doesn't mean that you are irresponsible. When you have a worry, transform a worry into a goal. When you transform a worry into a goal, and that I learned from something I heard yesterday, it's a small thing, but it makes all the difference. You transform a worry into a goal, and when you transform it into a goal and you make a plan, then you're no longer focused. You're no longer on the loop of the problem. You start to focus on the solution. It makes all the difference, because when you focus on a solution, you're going to think about the problem from another perspective, not from a perspective of the damage it's causing you, but from the perspective how you're going to solve it. Solution will come. You think of something and you make a plan to solve that, and that gives you a whole different perspective. So you have a worry, you transform it into a goal, and you do small actions every day to achieve that goal. Does that mean that just because you have a worry that you transformed into a goal, that you're going to pass 24 hours, 7 unhappy? An unhappy person makes no one happy, okay? So if you have a family, if you have a boyfriend, if you have a wife, if you have a husband, if you have a mother, if you have whatever people's lives you're touching, even if you're not doing it directly, even if you're doing it through media, if you want to help someone, the best person you can be, that's how you'll help. So your main priority, and that is not selfish, okay? Your main priority should always be you. Because if you're not at your best, you won't help anyone. If you're not mentally healthy, you're not helping anyone. If you're not physically healthy, you're not helping anyone. So your first priority, you don't have to sacrifice anything. You just have to make priorities, because when you're good with yourself, then you do a good job with your family, with your friends, whoever your people's life you're touching. If you're not good with yourself, you're doing a lousy job, because all you bring into people is misery. The misery that you carry inside is the one that you're putting out to the people you supposedly love, okay? So your first priority should always, if you really care about the others, your first priority should always be yourself, because that's how you're gonna be of help to others. Where does come gratitude? Because if you're grumpy all the day, because of all the worries you have, if you're miserable 24/7, how is that? You got what I mean, right? So how can you twist that? How can you change that in your favor? How can you not be living in worry, in resent, in envy, in anger 24/7? Be grateful. That's be grateful. How can you be grateful when you have so many problems in your life? Your life is a chaos. You don't have everything you should have. You don't have all that you thought you would have by that age. How can you be grateful? Well, let me tell you something. See yourself as a body of energy. And I'll get there. I was saying, I paused at the body of energy. When you see yourself as a body of energy, understand that you have a negative polarity and a positive polarity, just like everything else. You're a body of energy. You are a magnetic field. You have negative and positive. They exist, okay? The good feelings and the bad feelings, okay? The good thoughts and the bad thoughts. And it has to be in balance. In balance, okay? In balance. When we have imbalance, when there is no balance, it's because you're tending too much from one side than to another. In this case, when you get too, too with those low vibrational feelings, you get out of balance, okay, and you have to make an effort, to bring balance into your body of energy, because both polarities are there. Why is it gratitude important? Because it brings you that balance, okay? And if you see yourself as a body and energy that attracts certain things into your life as a magnetic field, and when you're grateful, when you're grateful, you're making, you're bringing value, you're giving value to the good things you have in life. You can wake up in the morning, and have a beautiful morning sun, and be grateful for that. You can, it doesn't have to be big things. It can be something that made you feel good. You know, when I say feel, is feel, because that's the difference. When I say feel, because that's the difference that's making on your energetic body. Things that made you feel good. If it was a talk with a friend that made you feel good, be grateful for that. If it was your morning coffee or breakfast, be grateful for that. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it made you feel good. What's that got to do with with a worry and everything? Because that's the difference between being 24/7 miserable, okay, or having a glimpse of happiness during the day. Because happiness are moments, and happiness are moments. You just have to perceive them, and when you perceive them, and if you manage to be grateful, you're balancing your energetic body, okay, to attract more of that. Does that sound too mystic? It's not mystic, okay? It's not. And it makes a lot of difference. I learned this exercise of the gratitude in a webinar, not a webinar, a workshop with Pedro Calabres. Maybe I mentioned before. He's a Brazilian neuroscientist, and he said that he practiced that exercise, and then I started doing it, and it made a difference. Okay, it made a difference. I especially do it at night, and it makes a difference on how I wake up. Makes a difference throughout the day. Okay, and because instead of focusing on that doesn't make you irresponsible. That doesn't makes you more creative. Leaves room, because when your mind is too occupied with the focus on the problem and not on the solution, you get stuck. You don't get creative. You get stuck. You don't get creative. Gratitude leaves room for creativity. Pardon my English, because it changes your energetic field. Okay. And when changing your energetic field, it doesn't just change your perception, it changes the way things happen around you, what you attract into your life. So you get to choose what you want, okay? You get to choose. I hope it helped. Have a nice weekend. Tchau. Beijinhos, beijinhos.